Hey, what's up? We are live. This is the Verified as Accurate No Response Stall Tactic workshop, all right? And we have a ton of stuff to go through. So very first thing that I want you to do is access this link. Now, we're doing it this way because if you're not here, I don't want you to have it. So it is L like Lima, Y, N, X, short.com/VASWK. That's going to bring you over to this page and you're going to be able to access a bunch of different things. So first of all, I created a worksheet for you to take notes. All right. So that's the very first thing. All right. Second thing is I have a ton of other things that we don't have the time to go over. So I packaged everything together. It goes with all of this and you can access this for $37. All right. So we're going to go over some of these things. We're not going to go over all of it because I don't have enough time to do that. And I also don't want you to fall asleep. So you can access that for $37. Use this link. It'll pull it up and it's really, really simple, instant access. All right. So you can also use this button over here. Now, if you saw the promo videos for this workshop, you can access those using this link right here, Verified as Accurate Worksheets from the VAS workshop promo videos. That's going to take you not to this one. Let's go find it. It's over here. Okay, so it's going to take you over here where we have this one and this one. All right, so let's get rid of this. So we have what you're supposed to do when the bureaus verify as accurate, and it gives you step by step what you should be doing. Now, again, we're diving way deeper into how to do that, so we're not going to go over it, but you're going to find things on here like, you know, a few reasons why it was verified, what could you have done differently, how to fight back and win, and of course, a couple of CTAs. Now, the other one is what to do when the bureaus don't respond, right? So I gave you a couple of things like everything is in the report. If it was not by the 30th day, this is what you can do, and a couple of different strategies, all right? So we're not going to go over that because we already have, and I will send you direct links to these, the worksheets, as well as those, as well as those videos when I see that you actually joined, and I'm going to put it into a nice little package for you, all right? So because we have so much to go through, this is why we're doing it this way. So I created a round one follow-up dispute tactic the other night and put a video out about that. We're also going to put that one into that package, but I'm going to leave it up because there's a couple of other things that we need to talk about. Okay, so I want for you to answer this one big question. So go and click on that link after you pulled up your notes. What's missing? So my one question for you is if you could put your finger on just one thing that would change the game for you, what would that be? What do you think is missing from your dispute process? Is it instruction, step-by-step process, what to say in a letter, where to get information, to put in that letter? Where's the knowledge gap? I want for you to answer this and I want you to submit your big question. All you have to do is add your email address and click on submit. All right, so let's go to the very first thing. So verified, no response, stall tactics. This is going to be the attack. Now, before you start filling this in, we want to go and pull something else up. I forgot to mention, you can actually access the $37 buy link by using this QR code, because if you're watching this on your PC, you can use your phone, whatever. So I created a QR code to pull that up, and I forgot to mention that. All right, so let's go over this, and this is actually part of that $37 package. If you want to access it, use that link. So this is the dispute flow that you need to know about. So we have flow type, like reasons, challenges, and additional disputes, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So I created this so that you can start thinking about different ways that you can attack the bureaus. And this goes for when they verify as accurate, when they ignore you, and when they send stall tactics. The one thing that you need to know is that it doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do, right? It only matters what we do, okay? So what that means is the only thing we care about is a deletion or the correction. So they could send something, a piece of paper that says, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and it wouldn't matter, right? The only thing that matters is what we're doing. So your biggest thing to take away from this is to continue disputing and to use the new and relevant information taken directly off the credit report. And the way that we do this is for round 1, we can go after like date last active. Round 2, date last paid. Round 3, payment history. Round 4, status update. Round 5, date of first delinquency. You always have information that you can use directly on your credit report. Now, a challenge that you can put in the first paragraph would be request for investigation. Round 2, first paragraph, method of verification. Round 3, notice of dispute, which is the key to credit disputes. Round 4, no investigation. Round 5, FCRA requirements, meaning they did not meet it. Now, your additional disputes, remember you have the ability to go after the collectors and the creditors, right? So round 1, collector validation of debt, round 2, collector validation of debt, round 2, and creditor round 1. Round 3 would be collector VOD 3 and creditor round 2, meaning not round 2, but letter 2 to creditor, and then so on and so forth up to round 5, CFPB complaints for violations against not just the bureaus, but also against the creditors and the collectors, right? Now, if you want to look at this as a flow chart, it's going to look like this. But before we get there, let's jump over to difference between dispute methods, because this is very, very, very important. You have factual disputes, validation of debt, online disputes, identity theft, 609, and resources. And I will also save the slide and I will package it with that $37, all right? If you just give me a second, you know what, I'll put it, because we're live, obviously, I'm going to send it out directly. If I can't remember to do this, maybe someone can send me a message. Now, you can post questions. I can't get to it now, obviously, because we're live, but any question that you send using the box on the page, it's going to be sent over to me, okay? So we have 609 and then resources, all right? So for factual disputes, it's based on the facts. It's all info taken directly from the report, new and relevant info on each dispute. It does not come back as frivolous when you use the facts, and it's no law heavy language or threats. Now, again, this is the key to dealing with verified. It's the key to dealing with no response. It's the key to dealing with stall tactics, because all of these things were meant for you to stop disputing and to get frustrated. We don't get frustrated. What we do is we win, and it's a game of inches, okay? So that's the one thing I want for you to understand. Like I said, it's the biggest takeaway. Now, with validation of debt, it's the direct to collector, 4-letter dispute series, works for medical, apartment, utility, and insurance, expedites the dispute process, and the key on this is the notice of dispute. Now, we're going to go through the rest of them very quickly. Online dispute, don't ever do it. You're giving up your rights under Section 623 and Section 611. Identity theft, look, dude, unless you're an actual victim of identity theft, don't do it. Unless you want the cops knocking at your door, all right? Section 609, don't even bother. Section 609 is, it's really just stating your rights to a credit report, okay? And then, of course, we have resources, so you don't really need to know about that because obviously you already know the resources. So let's go back over here. So round 1, if you used date of last activity, you can go, if the response was verified, you would go to date of last payment. If there was no response, go to date of last payment. If they respond with a stall tactic like do not understand, you're going to restate and you're going to send a copy of the report. A round 2 tactic would be Joe the plumber. Now, this is probably the most important image slide presentation piece that we're going to be going over. So I want for you to understand this because there's so many different ways that you can respond to this that's going to increase your ability to get results. So your response was verified, go after the payment history. No response, method of verification. Won't reinvestigate, that's what Experian comes back with, go after data last payment. Round 3 tactic would be squeaky wheel. You're going and you're hitting every single rung on that wheel. You're going after complaints, violations, you're challenging them, you're using the facts, so on and so forth. All right, so response verified, status update, and then, date last reported. No response, request for independent investigation, because in Cushman versus TransUnion from 1997, they basically state congressional opinion was that they can't just say that something was verified, and they do actually have to go beyond the original source of investigation, which is the data furnisher. So go check out Cushman versus TransUnion because it also shows you how to deal with it when they say contact the creditor. So a round 4 tactic would be collector, creditor did not validate or respond. And then now on the next one, if they come back and say verified, you're going after data first delinquency, no response, notice of dispute. We already verified this, FCRA requirements for an actual investigation, and then go to CFPB complaints. So as you can see, it doesn't matter what they say. Now, some sort of way it does, because it's either they're going to give you a stall tactic or, they're going to say it's verified, but this gives you a clear and concise, actionable way to attack them. This is super, super, super important and the basis for everything that you need to know and to do, okay? So now we're going back to this worksheet and I want you to start filling this out, okay? Now, maybe not now while we're doing this live, but after, I want you to take some time and fill in your own attack that you can do. All right, for round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then think of some things that you can send complaints about. And we have a couple places for you to put notes. And then what did you learn from filling out this worksheet? So this is one that I want you to take your time filling out. Now let's go back to the one that I put out the other night, round 1, follow-up dispute tactics. So the question that Jada K in the comments of one of my videos had asked, what can I do if round 1 was factual with inaccuracies and it came back as verified? For round 2, do we state the same thing again? And I just showed you that no, you wouldn't. So if you started with a date last active on a charge off, you're going to go date last paid, then notice a dispute. For third-party collection, it would be this is unknown, collector did not validate, and then notice a dispute. So you always have things that you can go after, right? So what you don't want to do is have it come back as frivolous, and now because you're stating the same thing twice, you're putting yourself in a horrible position. We have 17 things that we can use before we ever get to saying something like an inaccuracy or violation or challenge: monthly payment, date less active, balance, date less paid, past due, date less reported, so on and so forth, right? I even have a hierarchy that I can quickly plug in the the website and show you. But you have to remember that this is a game of inches and you got to play that game. So let me just type this out and see if I can pull it up. It's my old website, expertcreditsweeps.com/hierarchy. So we have the hierarchy, right? And it shows you what to dispute first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the different things that you can go after, violations, challenges, all of that. But we also have the dispute reasons. So if I plug in dispute-reasons, you're going to see that we have, just like I mentioned on that previous thing that I just showed you for round 1 follow-up tactic, we have a ton of things that we can go after, right? Now, if you want to head to this page, it's going to be, let's see, how do I want to do this? You're going to go to expertcreditsweeps.com/dispute-reasons. Okay, so that's going to pull that up and you'll be able to see what each element means and how you can use it. All right, so let's go back over here. And now I do have a dispute reason creator for you that you can click on. It's actually, let me just pass this page. So one of the things that you want to understand is that your biggest ammo is going to be rounds 1 through 5, and your backup rounds are after round 4 in your last resort. So all of your reasons fall into one of these categories. So like rounds 1 through 5 is date less active, date less paid, notice dispute, monthly payments on charge-offs, late payments and past dues on collections, so on and so forth. You don't want to use balance, payment history, high balance, past due, method of verification, transferred or sold collections or limit until you absolutely have to, which is after round 4. Okay, so this all goes back to understanding how to do this the right way. Now, there's a couple of other things that I want to show on here. So you need to understand that, there's a purpose. Your disputes have to have a purpose, direction, intent, action, and follow-up. So again, I'm speaking quickly because number 1, I don't want you to drop off. Number 2, I want for you to take away everything that you need to. And number 3, I don't want to bore you. Okay, there's a ton of stuff that we have to go through. So on here, you need to understand and figure out what you need to dispute, right? So for collections, it'd be like unknown medical, university hospital, Dr. Bond, whatever, charge-offs, Capital One, Discover, whatever, right? So now you want to focus on what's going to raise your credit score the highest by removing or correcting. And the end result would not have to be a beautiful credit file. It should be a well-rounded file with a great score. Okay. So your priority is going to be bankruptcy, charge-offs, collections. Now, I probably shouldn't have to go into that, so I'm not going to, but now you need to have a direction, right? So round 1, credit bureaus, round 1, collections, and then round 2, violation preparation. And for credit bureaus, it'd be creditors and then going to collections. Okay. Now this is actually going to show you when you should be disputing. Now, remember, I told you it doesn't matter what they do or don't do. We're doing everything on a schedule, right? Depending on what you disputed, when it was disputed, with whom, and tactic and strategy. But if you stick to this, it doesn't matter if you're waiting for responses, don't wait for them. So for round 1, you're going to send it out. You're going to wait 15 days, send out collection round 1, and then now 30 days has passed, you're going to send out round 2, so on and so forth, 30 days, round 3, 30 days, round 4, okay? And then you're going to regroup and go after your inaccuracies again, okay? So you need to start with the big guns. And I've already showed you this, so we're going to skip past this, but for like bankruptcy, it would be court name, filing date, comparison, method of verification. Charge-off would be date last active, notice of dispute, date last payment for the hierarchy. Collection would be signature or require proof, nothing furnished, false reporting, and then late payments would be never late, proof, method of verification. Now, I'm not going to go over this part. Let's just go over to action. So this is going to be the same cycle for each and every dispute round. You're going to send out your disputes, and recommendation is put 1 day between the bureaus, wait 30 days, a whole 30, compare for results, and then you're going to compare it against the prior report, okay? So there's a couple action notes on here, but like never use the same reason twice. Don't wait too long between rounds because they're going to hinder the process, and don't send middle of the month disputes because it's really not going to do anything for you. Okay, so you want to send out simple disputes that target exactly what you're going after. And now, as far as where you can go from here, it would be understanding the bulletproof credit sweep dispute tactics flow. And I do have a video on this, but I want to make sure that you understand this process. So we're going to go over it again because this all has to do with the different stages and the tactic flow that you can be using without having to wait for anything, for them to say anything, for them to do anything, all of that. Just real quick, some of the things that are actually in that $37 package is going to be this one, the actual dispute process, so you know what comes after what, the tactic chart to show you how to dispute certain things, the overview of dispute tactics, and it is a little bit blurry because I had to blow it up. The rest of it, there's actually 12 of them, and the dispute reason creator, the blank tracking sheet, and there's a couple of other things. But now I figured out a way to get that slide over into that $37 package because it's a drive link. So anything that I add or delete or whatever, it's just going to update it for you. So when I am done with this, I will go and I'm going to add it in. This is also a dispute calendar example so that you can know when to dispute and what. And so I'm going to get rid of these pages, and then we're going to go back to the actual tactics overview. Now, make sure that you stay to the end because I'm going to show you something that will greatly increase your results and take away all the pain with my credit suite that I've been working on for a year and 2 months now with my developer. So if you want to get a 7-day trial and get platinum membership for less than the cost of basic, then make sure that you stay and watch this because I'm going to show you exactly what it includes and what it can do. But for right now, we're going to go back to the dispute tactics flow, and I'm going to explain this. Now, just so you know, one of the things that I remembered in my comment section was someone asking about the bureau saying that, hey, you know, we think it's a third party. That is a stall tactic. Stall tactics are them doing anything to get rid of you. Like, we don't understand the nature of your dispute. We think that this is a, you know, credit repair company. We're not going to reinvestigate. Anything where they are trying to stop you, that is a stall tactic. Okay, all you need to do is keep on moving forward. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what they do or don't do or say or don't say. It's about what we do, what we say, how we dispute, because we are the ones that are going to get it removed. So let's get right into this. Okay, so this part, it's super important that you understand it. So we have our initial dispute, and then we have stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. So stage 1 is literally just blatant inaccuracies and send proof if you have it, but otherwise only use the facts from your report. Now stage 2, now we're at setting up the follow-up. Did they respond? If so, was it within a week? Was there an investigation? Obviously there wasn't. Now you can go down to the evolution line in stage 3. Evolution line is where you are able to stay at the top of the hierarchy by not restating, but reusing one of the, you know, top most impactful dispute reasons if they change the information. And this is where we get a feel for the games that they're playing and creating our plan of attack. Now you can go to violation, notice the dispute date last reported, and at 90 days, this is a very important round because we're using our initial letter, second letter, initial credit report, and second credit report to prove violation. As you can see, there are arrows. So these arrows show you where if they do this, then you can do that. Or if this doesn't happen, you go to the next step. Now, Tactics Central, this is over in stage 2. Remaining accounts can be disputed using one of hundreds of tactics for credit sweeps, specific to the accounts being disputed. And there are no two same credit sweeps. And this is where understanding how an account should be reported becomes important, what an inaccuracy would be considered under the FCRA and Metro 2. So at 120 days, this is where we get a lot of consumers that drop out because of lack of understanding the process. Like, I mean, trust and believe it were that simple, there wouldn't be 68 million people with bad credit. Now let's go down to stage 3, evolution line. So this is where you would, like I said, manually locate, change information on the report, and then go back up and use the top of the hierarchy, 90 to 150 days. Now this is stated 90 or 150 days because of the arrows. So it's 90 days if you went from stage 2 to stage 3, or if it's 150 days, it's because you went down to, across from Gameland to Violation to Tactic Central. Okay. So now this is a major loophole to reuse major dispute reasons that delete really difficult accounts instead of having to use fairly worthless dispute reasons at the bottom of the pyramid, right? So the dispute funnel, and you can see that we actually have 30 days jumping all the way down to dispute remaining items. But dispute funnel, this is where you set the follow-up to any future dispute, regardless of whether the bureaus reply or don't reply. We want to limit their responses and shift them towards our next dispute. This is recommended for extremely difficult accounts. And an example for a 90, 120 day or 180 day dispute would be a student loan with late payments that don't even begin at 90 days. Like, we know that it can't possibly say verified or certified as accurate by a creditor because, like, late payments have to start at 30, then 60, then 90, so on and so forth. All right. So that just doesn't make any sense. That's common sense right there. Then we dispute any remaining negative items using the pyramid method and dispute hierarchy. And only as our last tactic, after we've exhausted all remedies, we contact the CFPB for violation. All right. If you go back to the live workshop hub right here, you're going to see 2 things. How did I do? And interested in a credit sweep. So let's look at those. So how did I do? I want for you to let me know what you took away from this. Did you learn anything new? And your honest feedback. And I even have a little bit of quiz here, and it'll give you a 10% coupon if you fill it out. Now, as far as interested in a credit sweep, if you don't want to do this, that's okay. There's a lot to this. Simply fill this out and book a call with me at my740.com. Now, the very last thing that I want to share with you is, as I mentioned in the beginning, I have a brand new credit suite. All right. This is literally where you can do a bunch of awesome things with a full platform for fixing credit for yourself or for your clients. We have a basic level, a gold level, and a platinum level. All right. Now, until the 31st of May, you get a 7-day free trial. That's not going to change after that, but you get in the beta, which means you get platinum membership access for just $129 per month, which is less than basic, which starts at $169. So in other words, you're getting all of these features over here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. You're getting all these features over here in the 3rd column, but for less than the cost of this one over here. So we have 200 built-in dispute reasons, 200 plus built-in dispute letters, unlimited clients, unlimited portals, add your own reasons, add your own letters, full email messaging system, internal and external. Right now it's only internal, the external is coming. Import identity IQ credit reports, import. That one is current, but we're working on smart credit and my score IQ, an accuracies report. Credit file update notification system, which notifies you when the credit file is due to be updated again. Client auto sign up system, webhook automation integration. After that will be Zapier and Pabbly. Factual dispute training center, Facebook group, interactive tutorials, change due date interval 30, 40, or 45 days. New dispute letters added monthly. Gold level is quarterly, and basic does not have access to that. And then also we have multi-round letter creation and client email template library, contract center, lead management, and I'm also working on a 1-click 6-round automation system. So if you want to check this out, use the link that is at the bottom of where is it? This one. So you can access that down here at the last link. Otherwise, that book a free call link is right here. So I hope that you took a lot away from this. And when we're done, I'm going to go add this one over into the drive for those of you that want to take advantage of that $37 pack. And if you have questions, like I said, please post them in the chat and I will answer every single one of them. Now, I also have a ton of other things that are going to be coming out, but because you joined this, you're going to get not only access to the other ones, but for my ones that are not going to be free, you will get a discount if you want. So that is it on how to deal with verified no response, and stall tactics. And the last thing that I want to say is basically repeating what I said in the beginning. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It's about what we do. And the only way you're going to get your results is by continuing to dispute the right way using the facts taken directly off the credit report. So don't give up, don't stop, and don't get stalled or scared. Okay. Simply use the information directly on the credit report and you will be able to get there. All right. So that is it. This ran way more than, much longer than I wanted it to, but, I hope that you were satisfied with it. So that's it. Bye.